Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports time. Straight sports, no goddamn chaser. I'm one half of the super team coming to y'all tonight, episode 198. It's your boy Diego Baryshnikov, the Black Dominican Russian, checking in as always with my partner in crime, the 6 foot and under post up champ. Tell these people your name.
Cameron Newton, Superman. Tonight. What's good people?
You gonna be Cam tonight?
Yeah, man. It might be the end of an era. I feel a type of way. What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Tuesday for our recap show of Week 9. Boy, it's Week 10 this coming week.
Already, people. If you normally listen to us on the Spreaker or iTunes platform, we definitely appreciate that. Continue to do so. Leave those comments, watch, like, hit those subscribe buttons. But this week, make sure you take 5 minutes to check out the YouTube version of this show so you can see your boy Uncle Hate in this Cameron Newton getup. He got the glasses, he got the scarf, he got the hat, he got the whole Mary Poppins Miss Doubtfire thing working tonight. Yeah. On behalf of his boy. So, we know we got to talk about that. Cam going on IR, the rest of the season, what it may look like for the Panthers and Cam's future. Like he said, we're gonna recap Week 9. And start getting into the home, not necessarily the home stretch, but this next month is going to determine a lot in come NFL season between now and let's say Thanksgiving or so. So.
That's why I love the NFL because you can't give away games. You can't.
Yeah.
It's only 16. Unless you're the Patriots and you're in the AFC East, then you can give away a game or 2 or 3. But every other division, you can't give away no games. You can't.
Well, the Patriots, they got a weak division, but they can't even really give away games because the whole thing is, you're going to get home field advantage. So we're going to talk about them. How vulnerable are they really after their loss to Baltimore? And so, we got a lot to get into tonight. Let's just jump right on into it. Of course, my boys, the Niners, started off the Thursday slate of games last week, going into Arizona, winning 28-25. Scores a little bit closer than the game actually was. This game was definitely carried by Jimmy Garoppolo on the offense. The defense wasn't bad, but they had some missteps on a few drives that led to some points. I think I told you last week that I wanted to see how we played against a mobile quarterback because we had not played against one. Somebody that's going to move in and out of the pocket, change launch spots because, we got Russell Wilson coming up this week. We got Lamar Jackson we got to see in a couple weeks. Aaron Rodgers is still out there, so I wanted us to get a good.
That's some real games left. Damn.
Oh yeah. The back half of our schedule is finna get real. So I wanted to see how we how we stepped up in that fashion. But game was good. Jimmy Garoppolo had his best game as a Niner, throwing for about 317 and 4 touchdowns, give or take. Solid win, man. Solid win.
I was happy to see what happens when y'all don't run the ball like y'all did against us and pretty much everybody else this year. And if Jimmy can step up and spot duty like that for y'all, that's gonna take you a long way right there. Tevin Coleman didn't have the best game. Breida didn't either. Arizona's defense ain't played that hard all year long, but they played hard against y'all. That was a solid win. That was a solid win for y'all. Y'all are the last unbeaten team right now. The last one.
Yeah. So we'll see how far we can continue to take that. It was something I did want to point out in this game.
Arizona needs anybody to catch the ball.
Yeah, that too. I mean, Kenyon Drake came in and he was a spark plug. You know, he was about the only conscious thing happened on offense last week. It seemed like,
Right.
But you know, I think Arizona's actually headed in a pretty good direction.
Yeah.
You know, considering their quarterback is 4'11", but yeah, but they'll be able to get some things done. Is it Cliff? Whatever his damn name is, Kingsbury. He had a couple of miscues as a coach that Thursday night that kind of helped us you know, go ahead and salt away that victory. One was I think a challenge that something he had no business challenging.
That was stupid.
Right there in the fourth quarter where he gave away one of their 2 timeouts. So that helped us bleed the clock and they didn't get the ball back. And there was something, I think a decision right before the half, he did something else crazy. But you know, that's to be expected with rookie head coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, at the end of the day, the Cardinals are 3-5-1. I don't recall them really getting their ass kicked this year. They've played hard. You know, you got a whole off season, spend some money. They gotta get. I go back. They gotta get some people to catch the ball. Larry Fitzgerald is our age, I think, and them other dudes, their hands are terrible. So, but they got an off season to do that. So they'll figure it out. But it wasn't their night to get that done. Shout out to you guys. I take the L on that one. I did not think y'all were gonna be this good. I really did not. But
yeah, you know, and I just need to see Jimmy. I'm gonna have to. Well, we gonna get to the observations. I think we got some observations here later on, so I'll save it for that segment. But good win.
Absolutely.
Sunday morning, London game. Deshaun Watson and the Texans. Deshaun with one eye that he claimed that was healed by a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Texans won 26-3.
See this game. I went to church Sunday and I attempted to go get that chicken sandwich, and it was a no-go. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves being wrapped around that damn building to get a chicken sandwich. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Right. It's, you know, it's not limited anymore, people. They say they're going to keep them in stock. So, you know, you can go now, February, April next year, they'll still have them. So, but anyway, back to the game because I can go on a long rant about that damn chicken sandwich and some of the shit that's went on. But I didn't think I thought I picked the Texans to win this game, but I didn't think they would win it this handily. Especially with, you know, Watson and the defense not really playing up to par. Deshaun Watson, you know, in his eye injury. Carlos Hyde had a monster game in this one, even though he fumbled a late touchdown away.
90 of them yards came on one carry, if I'm not mistaken. Not to shit on. I mean, he got it done, but you know,
what he ended with he ended with like 160, right?
Like 160. So
yeah, that's a pretty good day.
That's a damn good day.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Gardner Minshew. If he had any hope of trying to keep this job, it all went away in London. Me personally, I never thought he was going to be the starter once Nick Foles was healthy, just for the simple fact, and I tweeted something to the effect today. They signed Nick Foles to a 4-year, $88.5 million deal with $45 million guaranteed. There's pretty much no way in hell, if he's healthy, that he wasn't going to come back and be the starter. You don't spend that kind of money to let somebody sit on the sideline for Uncle Rico. That's just my opinion.
He had to win a couple more games, maybe 2 or 3. And then even then, it would have been hard to trade him. Even then, so yeah, it's over with now. What's the coach's name down there?
Doug Marrone.
Yeah, Doug Marrone announced today that, you know, Nick Foles is healthy and he will be the starting quarterback. So, you know, Minshew's winning. You know, he's a novelty act. He'll keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, he made a name for himself. Sure, this game wasn't good, but you know, he led. I mean, because Nick Foles got hurt the first drive of the first game, so you know the Jaguars are 4-5. Yeah. You know, I think Minshew did his thing. You know,
yeah, he went 4-4. You know, 61%, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but damn, 11 lost fumbles. That's terrible.
Got to hold on to the football. Shit. Yeah. That's a lot. I think only Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones got what 17? They said 13, something like that. He's got a lot of turnovers.
He had like 8 last night. Shit.
Yeah. So that's that for that game. Good AFC South matchup. Houston still leading that division. With a chance to put some separation within next couple of weeks because I'm gonna skip to the Colts game. Jacoby Brissett goes down early. Hoyer comes in the game. They almost pull it out. But Minka Fitzpatrick, pick six, and a couple other things, and Pittsburgh pulled this game out. But this AFC South is just one of them divisions that's always kind of up in the air. But I think Houston going to end up taking it. But what you think about the Colts' performance and them going forward if Jacoby Brissett cannot play this week?
I don't think, and this could be blasphemous, I don't think Hoyer's that much of a step down, to be honest with you. I mean, he's been solid this year, but if you're talking about managing the game, they're going to run the ball most of the time. Hell, they're behind the 8 ball either way. T.Y. Hilton ain't playing no time soon. So you're pretty much going with, your backup wide receivers and your tight ends. But Pittsburgh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the Colts defense is going to probably have to keep them in a lot of games. Defense, run the ball, clock management is going to have to be their thing until they can get healthy.
I mean, they only lost by 2 points. Hoyer threw a pick six. I want to say he had 2 interceptions in this game, maybe a fumble as well. That's coming off the bench. But, he's a veteran. It'll probably be a little bit different this week. Jacoby supposedly might play Sunday. These MCL sprains don't necessarily work that way. You'll be sitting for a couple days. But the way the AFC is set up, the playoff picture, they're not that far out. Well, hell, they're in the playoffs as of now.
I'll say if it started today, they absolutely would be. I think what's even more surprising, and I'm glad that you brought up the playoff thing because I would have forgot about this. I thought about it Sunday. I wanted to bring it up tonight. I've been a big Mike Tomlin supporter for some years now, even when people be calling for his head.
Yeah, you have.
For him to not have Lev Bell, which by the way, the Steelers your joke for doing the hey big head to try to get him back. Oh.
Yes, crazy.
But that no AB, Ben going down the first 2 weeks or whenever he went down, for them to still be at this point 4-4 and right there for challenging for a playoff spot, right. I think is a damn good coaching job on behalf of Mike Tomlin.
That's a good. I want to stay right there, but I want to go off what you were saying. I was just sitting there thinking while you were talking. Imagine if they had this defense with the offense they had. This defense sacks the quarterback. They make plays. This is what they needed 2 years ago. This is random. We haven't talked about it, I don't believe, this year. Who do you think's been the best coach this year so far? Is it
Yeah. I mean, my coach up there. I mean, just the fact what he's been able to do, keeping us undefeated with some of the main injuries, especially with our offensive line, both tackles being out, losing the fullback, which is a big part of our run game, which is we still run the ball pretty good, but we haven't ran it like we ran it that Monday night when we had the fullback and he went out. We haven't ran it like that since then. Just really getting the number one receiver here within the last 2 weeks, which is another thing about Jimmy Garoppolo that people always omit when talking about his numbers and stats or lack thereof. The receiving core that we had other than Kittle wasn't the best. So I think Shanahan's right in there. Drew Brees. Sean Payton is up there for coach of the year, I think. Well,
I'm looking at the records right now. I think if it ended today, it'd probably be Shanahan.
Because he's under. I mean, for the because of the undefeated thing,
Not even necessarily that. I mean, y'all weren't even in the playoffs last year. So to go from what y'all did last year to this year and to be dominating like that, he might be it. I mean, it ain't gonna be LaFleur. Damn sure ain't gonna be old boy in Dallas. John Harbaugh's doing good. Belichick's always there, but I think it probably would be Shanahan if it ended today.
Yeah.
Because what you just said, this is the best coaching job Tomlin's probably done.
in quite some time. You're absolutely right. Other candidates, he probably won't even get a lot of buzz in the mix. But is it Sean? Gruden's been playing good, but their record doesn't justify him. I don't think.
Yeah.
At least not right now. Right. Buffalo. Is it Sean McDermott?
Yeah, that's
6-2.
I want to talk about them later because I need to know what they are, who they are, because I don't know. I'm concerned.
I mean, they a team that they find different ways to win. Seems like every week.
Yes, it does.
You know,
is that the quietest 6-2 team in the league right now?
Hey, that's the way to be. That's the way to be. Is quiet. I'm kind of not that I want us to lose any games, but I'm kind of upset that we the only undefeated team now. Thanks, Patriots, because that just puts even more of a spotlight on us. You know me, I like to fly under the radar until the last minute. Come up and fight your ass. Yeah, it was, but
and y'all get national TV games. What y'all got? Arizona last week. You gonna have Seattle this week. Yeah, that under the radar shit's over.
Yeah,
and Jimmy G shooting his shot on the low last week to the girl after the game. They like your quarterback. They like him.
My own damn wife, Miss Diego last week. We're looking at the pregame, and she goes, "Wait a minute, is that your quarterback?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "He's fucking gorgeous." I'm like, "Really?" I was like, the chicks did tend to like him, the cleft dimple in the chin and all that shit. But Coach of the Year, back to that. I think McDermott, even though he won't win it, I think he deserves some credit in that as well.
Yeah, good times. Y'all
all right.
Doing really good so far. But past that, we were on what's the next game?
Going back, Bills, Bills in Washington. Bills won 24-9. I did not see really any of that game. I didn't see a lot of the Sunday games. The 1:00 slot, because we already had played Thursday.
Yeah, so you were able to do stuff.
I didn't move anywhere. I was on this couch, nodding in and out. So I didn't see really, but really the fourth quarter. The beginning of the 1:00 games, and then the end of the games is what I saw.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything on this, Buffalo and Washington game. Buffalo won 24-9. You got anything you want to add, to that? Did you see any of that game?
I saw some of it. I guess the thing with Buffalo, I had on here, who are they? I mean, Josh Allen still 61%. He's only thrown 10 touchdowns with 7 interceptions. But he got 250 yards rushing. I feel like he's getting better, but the numbers aren't indicating that.
Well, the numbers, and I don't want to keep going back to us, but I think we've gotten too wrapped up in quarterback numbers and stats. And if we don't see 300-yard passing games every week and 3 touchdowns, then we tend to want to downgrade the quarterbacks. Some of these teams, like a Buffalo, like a San Francisco, with good defenses, and if you can run the ball pretty decently, you don't need to have your quarterback go out there and throw 400 yards. Just win the games. Find a way to win the games, and as long as you do that, then great. Now, you do want to see some improvement in certain areas, such as the passing game, because at some point you're going to have to do some of those things.
Yeah.
You can't win every game 17-10, or every game not going to be like that. So they will have to at some point put up more in the passing game. I don't think they have the weapons though to do so.
Hell no, they don't. Beasley. I don't even know who else they got at wide receiver. They got rid of Zay. Well, they got rid of John Brown and Beasley's all they got.
Yeah, is Charles Clay still there?
Nah, man. Buffalo is where skill position players go to die. Because it's gonna start snowing real soon there. So yeah, but
that's a big caveat.
Their schedule, they're 6-2 right now. Next up, they got the Browns, Miami, Denver. They go to Dallas, Baltimore, the Steelers, New England, and the Jets. Gimme's out. I think they're gonna beat the Browns on Sunday, on the road. I think they're gonna beat them.
Okay, so
they're gonna beat Miami. That's 8 wins. Denver
9.
That's 9.
I mean, because that dude they got quarterbacking now. What's his name again?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that
Dallas.
means the last 5 are real. And there's only one gimme out of that last 5, and that's the Jets.
Right, the Jets is very last week. At the Steelers, that's gonna be a tough one in December. I think that's gonna be a tough game for them. But at the very
9 right now.
At the very least, they should win 3 or 4 more games. Okay. At the least. So if you count Cleveland, Miami, Denver, that's their next 3.
Yeah.
And then the Jets at the very end of the season, that's 4 right there. That's and then if they can steal one out of Dallas, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and New England, that's 5 more wins. They already 6.
They played New England strong earlier this year. They should have won that game.
Buffalo Bills will be a playoff team.
That's crazy.
Now once they get there, we'll see. But Buffalo, unless there's a catastrophic something goes wrong down the stretch, they should be a playoff team.
That's crazy. Shout out to them, man. They're in position. Shout out to them.
There you go. That's the stuff.
Minnesota went up to Kansas City and lost 23-26
This was a good ass game.
That was a good ass game, but did you not expect Kirk Cousins to not beat the teams he's supposed to beat? They should have won.
No, again, I just saw the fourth quarter here. Now, I will say Kansas City's defense is not as bad as it was the first half of the year.
They decided to start playing like 2 weeks ago,
which is good. On the flip side of that, I would have expected Minnesota's defense to not let Matt Moore get in their ass.
I'm so old, dog. I remember when Xavier Rhodes was a shutdown corner. You remember that shit?
I mean, if we honest, it was really a short period anyway.
It was like a year.
Yeah.
And he got paid off that year and ain't did shit since then.
Right. Nothing. I mean, he's big and physical, but yeah, I mean, we're seeing some of the things that separate him from other real elite corners, I think.
Tyreek Hill kicked their ass on Sunday.
Yeah. I think the difference in the game was that long, was a 90-something yard run by Williams.
Yeah.
Right, right up the gut. But that was a good ass game, and the Chiefs are in a real good spot. Hopefully Mahomes can get back up under center real soon here.
They say Sunday, maybe. Okay. I don't think he should come back against that Tennessee pass rush. That don't seem like the right team, but I guess it don't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because Tennessee, I think their defense is kind of falling off.
The overall defense, yeah. I mean, they can't cover nobody on the back end, but they rush the passer. Mm-hmm. They definitely do that. So, and if he's back there at 80%, but I'm sure they would. I'm sure Andy Reid would not put the whole franchise out there if he wasn't right to play. So Matt Moore's done what he needed to do. They are still at 6-3 at the top of their division in the playoffs, and they get him back at some point. So, all right, next up, the Jets and Miami swap places as far as the Tank Bowl. Miami got their first win. One thing I would give these Miami Dolphins, they attempt to play for that coach. They play hard for Brian Flores. I didn't think that shit was going to work out for him. Brothers going down taking these type positions don't really work out well, but they play hard for him. So that's all I got on this game outside of the fact that Sam Darnold is regressing, it appears. But maybe they put an offensive line in front of him. It'll get better, but it ain't look good the last 3 weeks.
I mean, offensive line and weapons. It's hard to maintain if you don't have those things, especially if you're a young quarterback.
Yeah. That's all I got on that one.
All right, next.
Go ahead.
That's the game I was on. Bears and the Eagles.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. they can't go away from him at this point. They can't. But you see the frustration in the defense at this point. You see it. Yeah. They showed the stats on Sunday. He is like dead last in all passer statistic at quarterback. Like dead last.
He shook.
And I was sitting there thinking, damn, how is he dead last? Cam sucked them 2 weeks he played. But Cam didn't qualify because he only played 2 weeks. He done played damn near whole season. It's like you can't even finish your Gatorade, dog. You gotta go back in the field.
And that's what kills a good defense is when they constantly have to go out on the field. And this works, or maybe has worked against some teams. Kansas City, I think it worked against them last year as well. The same way, if the offense can't sustain drives and put the defense right back out there, scoring a lot of points quick, puts the defense right back out there. But I think Chicago would rather have the latter at this point because they ain't doing shit on offense. Nothing.
You feel sorry for Nagy having to go out after every game and try to explain that shit?
Right.
Like, what can you say?
Yeah, this right now, if you ask me the most disappointing team this year,
them.
It's definitely got to be them because they were picked to win this division by a lot of people.
Yeah,
they picked to win this division by a lot of people.
Is it them or Atlanta?
I say the Bears because Atlanta's pretty disappointing too, but I didn't have Atlanta. Did I have Atlanta to win the division? I don't think I did.
No, I mean I don't think you would have took them over the Saints, but I thought they would at least be competing for a playoff spot. They 1-7.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So yeah, Atlanta's right there too. But the Bears, man, of course, I don't think they're making the playoffs this year. Not at 3-5 with the way that they're playing. I don't see any hope in sight anytime soon as far as that offense. It would be tough. If they want to take a Hail Mary at it, I might have to put Chase Daniels back in there.
I was just about to ask you a question. I want to look it up first. If the draft came down this year and they shit continues the way it does, well, damn, it don't matter because their 10th pick goes to the Raiders.
The only pick that they got, that's going to the Raiders. And if they can,
thinking like when they take a quarterback, but shit, it don't matter. It's going to the Raiders.
Yeah. With Trubisky being in his third year at this point, I think we said last week that they couldn't go another way. And I think I gave a long soliloquy as to why I think they wouldn't. Might have to start rethinking that, especially if somebody like Cam is going to be on the market.
Right.
I can't see them, if they finish out this season the way that it started, they're going to have to do something. I think you mentioned maybe bringing some competition in the building next year.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do something.
Did Trubisky start from year one, or did he come in mid-season? I can't remember.
I think he pretty much started from the jump.
So he's had 3 full years.
Well, this is his third year.
That's what I'm saying. So once this year, that'll be 3 full. He missed a few games here and there. I mean, shit, well, the first year I think John Fox was the coach, so kind of scrapped that. When Nagy came in the last 2 years, I think I'd put Chase Daniels in there. If he fucks up second half of this or first half of this game coming up this week, bring him in. Why not? You gotta do something.
Yeah, you gotta do something. Like I said, he's clearly one of those quarterbacks that he needed some time on the side, watching and holding the clipboard first before he got in there. So I think that would help him at least for the rest of this season. If they go to Chase Daniels, like I said, they're not making the playoffs because with the NFC being the fucking battleground that it is, they ain't coming back from no 3-5 record to make no damn playoffs. So,
I mean, they should be fighting hard to try to make that draft pick go down. Because if the Raiders fuck around and end up with a top 5, top 6 draft pick, and they're playing hard now, that was a pretty solid move for them if that works out that way. But
and not flip it.
Yeah, try to get move to the back end of the first. Give me an additional second. Somebody looking to move up. Yeah,
Exactly.
Still there who passed on Watson and Mahomes. That dude's still in charge, right?
Yeah. He's still there. Oh, is it Ryan Grigson? I think that's his name. No, is he in Indiana?
That was a dude with the Colts. He's
yeah. I'm tripping. Yeah. I can't think of it. Yeah, but the GM for the Bears that did this is still there. Mortgage their future, traded. And this is the thing. Not only did they pick him for and bypass Watson and Mahomes, which you could say that's after the fact. Yeah. But all the picks that he gave away to trade up to take him. That's another piece of it as well. So, hey, tough shit. Next up, we talked about Pittsburgh and the Colts already a little bit. Your boys, Carolina, 30-20 over the Titans. I tried to flip back and forth to catch y'all a little bit, but y'all was pretty much handling this game from the jump. So there was really wasn't a whole need for me to watch this in entirety. But what did you see from your boys this week that you like going forward?
Christian McCaffrey is a bad motherfucker. Like
true.
Like straight up. But at this point, you got to buy in and sell out in regards to the Kyle Allen thing. He made some good throws in this game. I can't flex. Curtis Samuel had a good game. DJ Moore. Look, at the end of the day, when you talk about Norv Turner and his offense, look at what he did with. I want to say he had Kirk Cousins. No, it wasn't Kirk Cousins. That was the fella in Washington, the backup.
Colt McCoy? Case Keenum.
He had Case Keenum in Minnesota one year. And I believe Case Keenum balled. He had Sam Bradford. He balled up there. Get the ball out your hands. Run the offense the way he wants to run it. The running game is going to be it. The defense did what they were supposed to do. I'm being cautious with this, but I kind of want to take them going up to Green Bay this week. I kind of want to take them.
I don't think that's far. I don't think that's too far fetched. Especially from what I saw from it could just been an off game or whatever. But San Diego got in Green Bay's ass on that pass rush, and y'all have a pretty damn good pass rush too. So I think that's one thing that y'all can take into that game as something to hang your hat on. Secondary probably is going to have to, step up with Devontae Adams. This will be his second week back this coming week, so he should probably be more in rhythm than he was.
I like Bradbury though. Bradbury has done a good job on number ones. He hasn't got burned a lot. I kind of got that on our notes later on in regards to this Cam thing. We got a lot of people to pay. We got a whole lot of free agents in 2020. A whole lot of them.
Which could very well factor into that Cam decision.
I mean, these are starters too on defense. So it's a whole lot. But yeah, we got it done. Looking forward to seeing the way it goes the rest of the year. I mean, we're right there in the thick of things at 5-3. So can't be mad about that. I got to go all in on Kyle Allen. He is the quarterback right now, and we're going to see what happens. Tennessee did what they did. They are losing right now, and they're going to be right back in the lottery.
Right. So we're gonna wait to touch on Cam.
We might as well do it now. We can do it now.
Okay. So we mentioned it earlier about him going on IR. I mean, we just cut to the chase. Now of course I've been saying, you've been saying Cam healthy, he's a quarterback. Now all of that's kind of out the window because he's not healthy. He won't be healthy this year. So he won't get to show what he can still do healthy. So
it had to be a setback last week. It had to be. I don't believe he would have traveled to San Francisco if he wasn't close. I don't believe he would have.
I mean, sometimes the guys just want to be around the team too. It's only so much being away from the team and being alone that you can do. And Kyle Allen has said that he's been there to help him in the film room and things like that. So, that's kind of another reason for, that he was there. But I thought he was getting ready to come back too. But apparently the foot was not healing as fast or at all. So
they played last Sunday. I think it was Friday. He was on the plane to Green Bay to go see the foot specialist. And I think we talked on the side. I was like, shit, if he's hurt, just go on IR. Just be done with it. Because at some point, look, people, we know Cam Newton's in his own world. I mean, look at how I'm dressed. He's in his own world, but at the same time, he hears shit just the way everybody else do. He's human. With everybody saying they should move on, just maybe in the back of his mind, I need to get fully healthy for the next step. Let me go get this second opinion. Let me go get right for the next step. Yeah. I don't even necessarily think it was a thing of them not wanting him. It was the money. The whole time I've been saying it was the money. that new owner was gonna have to hand him Dak Prescott. Well, Dak ain't even got paid yet. But it was gonna come down to that money. If they could save $19 million in today's NFL and have to pay this dude $400, well, they gotta pay him too. I didn't realize that till today, but Kyle Allen's free in 2020 as well.
Oh, well, but he's not getting no hell of a lot of money.
No, he might get a solid 10 to 12.
Yeah, but I think the owner of the Panthers is actually kind of happy that this happened because the decision kind of made it for him. Now, that Cam came back healthy and then balled, then that makes that decision that much harder because it's hard to find, top 10, top 15 quarterbacks in this league. So, the money was one thing, but it's hard not to pay a top quarterback the money, especially when you got one in-house already. So,
do we feel like it's done?
What's that?
Like, because we keep saying, like, oh, yeah, he's out. They could pick up that option. I mean, he's still under contract next year at $20 million. They could very well pivot and bring him back on that prove-it year.
Yeah, I mean, so they're gonna have some options. I think right now there's a lot of speculatory things, pretty much. With everybody saying, well, fans kind of gauge by the media and go from there. But that is an option. 20 years, 1 year, see what you do then, and then come back. Especially
depending on what Allen does the rest of the year. If they get in the playoffs, it's a done deal.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because once you get to the playoffs, then what are you going to do? And when you get to the playoffs, you're looking at 49ers, the Saints, the Packers, those type of teams. It's one thing, playing some of these middle of the road lesser teams and him doing pretty good. But the playoffs is going to be a different story. So I don't think getting to the playoffs is going to sew him up with the job because ultimately you want to win in the playoffs. And if he ain't showing that he's a guy to do that, then maybe they look another way. Or maybe, like you said, maybe they do bring Cam back. What are the other alternatives?
But even if he's there, that's not saying he's the future. They may move on from Cam, turn around, draft somebody. There's no guarantee that Kyle Allen is it going forward. Yeah, they took Will Greer in the third last year. So, I don't know. I think it's unfortunate that people are burying Cam Newton, saying that it's a done deal. The man's he's 31. He's 31.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the Cam Newton comeback too. Whether it's next year with the Panthers or with somebody else, I can't wait for that. I'm buying my ticket right now for that because he healthy. I know what Cam can do.
Cam's a monster when he's healthy, a monster. And it's unfortunate. This is the last thing we're gonna get off of this. Everybody keep putting up his last 7 games. He was fucking hurt. He was fucking hurt. Y'all know he was hurt. We watched the game on Thursday when his shoulder got shattered. He was hurt. But, they're winning. They're winning without him. We'll see. So,
right. I mean, like I said, people act like Cam got benched for bad play, healthy. So, it is what it is. But Cam will have the last laugh in the situation. And I said it when you brought it up at the beginning of the year. If the Bucs get rid of Jameis,
Titans.
If I was him, I ain't fucking with the Titans. But it's a possibility. But I think Titans, Bucs, and maybe the Bears, if you look at it right now, are probably the top options. Typically, when you get a guy in a division we know how Cam is. He might feel slighted if they get rid of him.
Oh, absolutely.
You know
he got to be feeling away because the whole city, everybody. I follow a lot of these message boards and these fan pages. It's split down the middle. You say what you want. There's a whole lot of undertones to this shit. A whole lot of
the same ones like when he came out.
Exactly.
He was first coming in the league.
A lot of them that are happy to see a white quarterback winning with a white running back. There's a whole lot of them. So, we're gonna see where it goes. I'm on board with Allen as of now. We're gonna see where this thing goes. But Cam Newton ain't dead, people. He's not.
No, sir, not at all. The Raiders won 31-24 over the Detroit Lions. And man, the Raiders. John Gruden got the Raiders playing some good football.
They're playing hard, dog.
And I think they are.
Simple ass would have stayed on board. Just imagine.
What's that?
Just imagine if AB simple ass would have stayed on board. What would
Oh,
they
I
do
know.
right now with AB?
I know, right? Well, hopefully you would think it would be better. The naysayer side of me said it possibly could be worse because you could have had Derek Carr trying to force the ball to AB all of the time.
He would.
And but it's working out for them right now in the long run. Until that grievance come up, we'll see how that go. But the Raiders are 4-4 right now, and they got the Thursday night game this week against the Chargers, which they could very well win.
They can win.
And if you look at their next, well, just really how they finished the season. I was talking to one of my buddies at work. He's a Raiders fan. They could end up 10-6 or 11-5 based on the games that they got left. They have, after the Chargers, they got the Bengals and the Jets.
Wins.
Then the Chiefs. They might take an L on that, especially in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Then they finish up with the Titans, the Jags, the Chargers again, and the Broncos. The Raiders are sitting in pretty good position to make the playoffs, right?
Mitchell Trubisky is helping them get a high draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty solid. And they're moving to Vegas next year.
Yeah. So imagine coming off of a 10-win season, making the playoffs, and then going into Vegas next year. With cap space and draft collateral. That's they gonna be in a pretty good position. It just goes to show once again that sometimes we jump the gun on grading some of these things and coaches and situations before it's time. Last year, everybody was, why they give John Gruden 10-year contract? The Raiders suck. This, that, and the third.
But they were playing hard last year. I think you brought it out because I didn't see it. You was like, dog, they play hard. They're in these games.
So we're going to see how it goes, but it's definitely going in the right direction now.
Let me ask you something real quick. We're looking at the playoff picture. Colts, Steelers, Oakland. I kind of like the Raiders.
I like the Raiders. Right now, they're a little bit healthier, especially at the quarterback position. Even if Jacoby Brissett is in there, missing a T.Y. Hilton for who knows how long, that's going to be big. And I don't think that if the Colts don't win the division, I don't think they get in.
Yeah, they gotta.
I don't think they'll get in. Like I said, Oakland has got, I want to say PFF ranked Oakland with the third easiest schedule the rest of the way. I like the Raiders' chances to get one of those wild card spots. And don't let the Chiefs fuck around and slip up. Because they only a game up on the Raiders right now. Yeah. Well, a game and a half because I don't think the Chiefs have had their bye yet. I think they have it this week. But yeah, man, it's going to be tight in some of these division races coming down the stretch.
Detroit will lose every close game there is to win this year, and they play hard too. They play hard, but that's damn.
It's Detroit, man.
It's Detroit.
I saw Mike. I think it was Mike Greenberg from ESPN tweeted how Matthew Stafford. I want to say he was maybe leading the league in one passing category or whatever. Yeah, because he got like 19 touchdowns and only maybe 4 or 5 interceptions, something like that. Yeah. And he was talking about how nobody's talking about Matt Stafford. I said, well, for one, it's the Lions and they don't have a winning record. And two, y'all been too busy giving Russell Wilson the MVP since week 2.
Boy, they want Russell to win that MVP so bad, boy.
Yeah, so we'll see how Detroit finish the season. But again, 8-8, 7-9. That's probably what I'm expecting from them. Speaking of Russell Wilson,
they 3-4-1. That's generous.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Shit.
Yeah, that's probably not happening. Next up, speaking of Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, they pulled one out by the hairs of their chinny chin chin in overtime, 40-34. The Bucks. I mean, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf is where Russell Wilson is going with the ball.
That's it.
And they couldn't seem to stop it.
the Bucks have been bad. I think we talked about it last week since Warren Sapp and them left. So they've been picking in the first round, like first to 15 for a while now. None of these corners are good. Like none of them.
I mean, you got Vernon Hargreaves. He'll make some plays here and there, but to me, too much. He's out of position. So you know, Shaq Barrett. I think he slowed down on the pass rush and his sacks. No, Shaq Barrett played for y'all, right?
Nah, Shaq.
Shaq Thompson.
Down there.
Yeah, Shaq Thompson is who y'all got.
Yeah, Thompson's with us. They probably slide in that coverage to help double his ass. You get 8-9 sacks the first couple of weeks, people gonna pay attention. They're gonna start scheming for you.
Yeah, but Tampa, man, I thought they were gonna pull this game out because they started off with 21-7. They were up, and then they kind of fell asleep at the wheel. But I want to ask you a question because I could just be a hater because it's a division rival. What is it that I'm not seeing in the Seahawks that the national media is seeing in the Seahawks?
Excuse me. You're not missing nothing. I feel the same way. The defense is trash. Chris Carson is a walking fumble. Russell Wilson just hangs around in games. He hangs around long enough to get it done. But Jadeveon Clowney, your bag is getting messed up. Their corners aren't good. They just hang around long enough. If they're giving up 29, they're scoring 31. That's it. This ain't a good team. I think they're going to get their ass kicked on Monday. I think y'all going to beat their heads in, and everybody's going to be like, well, Russell was going against the number one defense. They're undefeated. He's still the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Russell, he deserves to be in that discussion. Don't get me wrong, because with all the things you just said, and they still winning, it's because of him.
Metcalf
his ass
stepped up. He's gotten better, this year. Lockett's gotten better, but it's Russell. I agree. He's played a solid year.
Yeah, Russell's solid. I mean, because if you go back to the Legion of Boom days, everybody had questions about is it really just the defense? Is Russell a game manager? Is he just quarterback? And then the Legion of Boom was dismantled, and here the Seahawks are still a formidable team. So you can't knock them in that regard. I do see, but I just see some holes in this team. And to me, when you struggle from week to week with mediocre to bad teams, that says something.
Hey, that game Monday, it's at y'all house?
This one, yes.
If he finds a way to pirouette and win this game, you might as well just give him MVP.
We go ahead and engrave his name in it now, right?
Put his name on it right now. If they find a way to beat y'all at home on Monday Night Football, oh my God, they'll. Anyway, that's another story.
No, you said it right. You said it right. That's going to be a good game because Sherm is going to be ready for that one.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that factor is there. So I want to see because Sherm don't follow. He plays the left side of the defense. So I want to see the formations and the play calling of who they actually line up on his side.
Whether it's Tyler Lockett over there with him,
whether it's Metcalf or whether it's Lockett. So we gonna see. We're going to see.
Josh Gordon. We might as well talk about that now. Josh Gordon's probably going to play. Does he have anything left, you think?
He could prove me wrong. I don't think so. 2012 or 2013, whenever he had that monster season, it was a long time ago.
I was just sitting there thinking, we've been talking about Josh Gordon for a long time. And he probably only still 27, 28. We've been talking about him with all this fuckery for a long time.
And he still ain't even close to 30.
Nah, it's man, all over weed, man. Bless his heart.
and they put him in Seattle.
Right. We talked about that on the side, like, damn, ain't weed legal there?
Well, now I heard it was legal in Massachusetts. I don't know how true that is, but even if it is, you're talking about a different culture between Boston in Seattle.
Yeah.
People ain't traveling to Boston to go get weed and to go to their dispensaries. People are purposely traveling to Seattle for that purpose. And it's a whole different culture. It's more laid back, more liberal. So
that's why I'm going to disagree with you. I think he's going to ball for Pete.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll ball for him out there. Because, I mean, that's basically a college team out there. I mean, out there in New England, do your job. That's it. Fuck that fun. Do your job.
That's true. I'm looking at. I'm like he looked fat to me.
Oh yeah, he did look fat.
You know what I'm saying? He don't look as fast. So and then the things that were coming out of New England that they leaked or whatever after the fact after they released them. Yeah. If you can't manage to realize that this is like your seventh last chance and you got it with Tom Brady and the Patriots and you still showing up to meetings late, you still being irresponsible, whatever. If all of that is true, then that's why I say I don't see it.
Hey, but that Super Bowl ring last year, that shit was real.
From
he got a ring from New England.
He was on there last year. Huh?
Yeah, he gonna claim that. Even though he was gone, he gonna claim that. So
he might sell it.
Yeah, we gonna put Josh on the prayer list. What do you think, real quick? This off subject. What do you think about Russell Wilson campaigning for AB?
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. I'm surprised he did it, but I don't blame him.
It don't really seem like his MO. It seemed like he's so cookie cutter, goody two shoes kind of cat that he would stay clear of publicly letting it publicly be known that he wants a guy like that. But you can't deny AB talent. We've been saying it since he left.
We ain't got shit on him right now. We got a whole lot of speculation.
Yeah. It's funny reading Twitter in regards to AB because when all that shit was going down with the with the lawsuits and the allegations, him leaving Oakland and his feet and all of that, then what happened in New England, all of the talk about AB this, AB that. Now you look up and down the timeline and you see so many teams that were like, shit, I'll take him.
All they're waiting on is the NFL to say the investigation's over. He's good. It will be a signing frenzy once that shit happens.
I read somewhere today, I don't know if it was from a legit source or not, or just a fan talking, but I hear that he's going to be in Philly this week working out. We'll see. I haven't heard an update on this investigation in a minute. The last thing
their feet on that.
The last thing I heard is that they can't complete it because he refused to come into the office to talk. They've interviewed the girl and everything. They still have not talked to him. They can't make him come in because he ain't on the team right now, so he ain't really employed. So I think that's what's actually holding it up.
AB, go ahead and talk to them folks so you can get on somebody's team and get business back to booming because I miss you. You crazy as hell, but I miss AB on that football field. I miss him.
Now, let me ask you this. Is he not going to talk because there's probably something to this? And he know once he go talk, then he's probably gonna get suspended.
Yeah, because if you innocent, you walking in there with George Jefferson, swinging your arms. Let's talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, AB's not playing football this year. That's just he needs to come to grips with that. You're not playing football this year, buddy. All right, let's run through the rest of this because we got long-winded for a while there. Where are we at? The Cleveland Browns took another L. We're not picking them anymore. I know I'm not.
Hey, man. This was bound to happen, man. This was bound to happen.
What are they right now currently? The Cleveland
like 2-6.
2-6.
Way too much hype. I mean, I think we say the same shit about them every week.
Every single week. So we ain't gotta spend a long time.
But
I tell you what, Odell Beckham, that's a tiger in the cage, pacing.
Hey man,
he go off. He wants to.
You could tell Sunday.
He wanted
you
to
could tell Sunday.
People, at the end of the day, when you got a number one wide receiver, a talented one at that, if he got one-on-one coverage, you try that corner. You try him. Chris, what's his last name? The slot corner in New England.
In New England?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Denver.
Chris Harris.
Chris Harris. I'm gonna try him. If Odell's locked up with him one-on-one, and the game's on the line, I'm gonna try him. But Baker didn't seem to want to go there. Tell me, why did he shave 3 times on Sunday?
Bro, he came to the stadium with a full beard, took the field with the looking like Gardner Minshew. That shit was whack.
That was terrible.
And I think he realized it was whack and that he looked just like Gardner Minshew, which is why he cut it before the post-game press conference.
Who does that? 3 times in one day?
This team has got so much going on, and they in the news about so many things besides football. You had OBJ and Jarvis Landry with the cleats mid game. Now, the things I heard though after the fact did kind of put that in context, and I didn't look at them as crazy as I did while they was talking about it during the game. So real quick on the cleats. Did you see Jarvis's cleats?
Yeah, so
they matched the uniform to me.
That wasn't that deep.
It wasn't. So apparently, though, but Jarvis says that, and Odell said it too, that when they are in the off season and they're going through, like for instance, I think they both got endorsement deals with Nike. I know Odell does. When they're going through with the marketing people, whoever at these shoe companies to pick these cleats, they actually take the cleats, match them up with certain uniforms to make sure that they are in compliance, right? They then have to run these cleats by the NFL to make sure that they're approved. So Jarvis says that these cleats that they told him to take off mid-game had been approved in the offseason. So that's why he couldn't understand why they were now asking him to remove them. In Odell's case.
Why does it matter about the cleats at this stage?
Well, the NFL is a real stickler about their uniform code.
Yeah, I
hear. It seems mundane. It seems like something. It's a rule, but why do you have to enforce it? That's the NFL, and that's why Jarvis and Odell and people like them feel singled out.
Yeah.
Okay. Odell said that he had cleats based on the jerseys that they were supposed to wear. They were supposed to wear white.
Yeah.
On Sunday. They ended up changing at the last minute. He didn't have cleats to match that because they were supposed to wear a different jersey. So when I heard that, not that it was a big deal anyway, it makes me not look at them crazy. People are still going to do it because they're not going to look at the after the fact and look at the context of what happened. They're going to look at these two stupid motherfuckers want to wear their own cleats while they being a headache. But that's just a little bit of context about the cleats. Either way, it still don't help 2 and 6.
It don't help at all. And let's talk about something that is meaningful. So we feel confident Freddie's gone at the end of the year.
I don't.
What? You don't?
I don't, because you can't keep switching head coaches.
You can't.
You can't keep switching head coaches. You knew he was a first-time head coach at any level, so this ain't something that just came out of the blue. You had to know that there were going to be some growing pains, probably not this many, but you probably felt there were going to be some. Now, if you jump ship, who you going to get?
That's what I was about to ask you. At this stage right now, do you go get an offensive mind for Baker, or do you go get a disciplinarian?
I don't think
I don't know if a disciplinarian will work with them dudes.
I don't think that's what they need. First name that came to my mind, and there could be some others out there. No, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think offensively, now it could be oil and water with him and Baker. They could either get along great, or it could be Aaron Rodgers and McCarthy times 2. But that's a name. I think they got to get an offensive guy. If they jump shit, they got to get an offensive guy that can come in there and actually get some shit done. Freddie at times looks lost. Maybe a year up under his belt, maybe he comes back better next year. I don't know. But I know you can't keep hitting reset and think things going to change. At some point, you got to stick with something and see if it can grow.
I'm with you. All right, let's get off of them. Denver got another win, so shout out to them. All right, Green Bay got
you said another one like they've had a lot of them.
I mean, yeah, what they're up to? Well, they're 3-6 now. Hell,
3-6.
Yeah, I guess that does sound stupid. It's vodka.
No, you good.
3 wins ain't shit. Be honest.
It's really not. We in week 10.
Was I being patronizing without really trying to be?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Green Bay lost 11-26 to the Chargers. You went up to that little ass stadium with most of your fans and got your ass kicked.
Yeah. Trap game. Classic trap game, I guess. Yeah. Like I said, we'll see. if it was just one of them off games for Green Bay. Maybe they had a little bit too much fun while in LA. Who knows? But they exactly, and that's why I think Aaron Rodgers after the game, he really seemed like he wasn't featuring this shit at all. He was kind of cool. So I think them having that little cushion kind of helped absorb this loss a little bit better. Right. Now this week can't come out and play like you did last week. Okay. Otherwise, you're gonna be 7-3. So it's gonna be a good game.
Would not be a good look when Minnesota is a game behind.
Right. That's what I say. With Minnesota right there for that division, you definitely want to keep ahead of the pace right there. So
they'll be okay because they know Kirk Cousins playing on a Sunday night game, prime time. He gonna fuck up.
Oh, is he? Oh yeah.
They got Dallas on Sunday night. He gonna fuck up. You already know.
Hey, between him and Dak, that could be.
Kirk got to win one of these. He got to win one of these games he's supposed to win. He got to. I don't think it's going to be this week.
I was about to say, are they supposed to be Dallas? We'll talk about that Thursday.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Thursday.
But the Sunday night game.
Well, let's finish this Green Bay thing up real quick. They lost 2 times this year. 2 times. They lost to Philly and they lost to the Chargers. And in both games, their offensive line got manhandled. Like manhandled.
Right.
Is this the is this the blueprint with these cats?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's always get Aaron Rodgers off his spot, put pressure on him. That's always going to be the blueprint to beat them. The question is, are they going to be able to run the ball, or will they run the ball enough to try to, combat some of that? We'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's go to this Sunday night game. I still watch that show on Fox Sports, Speak for Yourself, with Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock was out all last week. I mean, ahead of the curve, saying Baltimore going to beat their ass. They're going to beat New England's ass early. And I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They put the hurting on them. Now, were you surprised with this game? Well, let me preface this. How much of this game did you see? It was a Sunday night game. We know how you get down.
Hey, man, because of my naps during the earlier part of the day, I saw a good portion of the game.
Okay, cool.
I'm seeing this game a little differently than most. I'm giving Baltimore their credit. They played good and whatever. They beat them pretty soundly. However, I'm looking at a few plays and situations in that game that turned it. One is the Marlon Humphrey fumble return for a touchdown as New England is driving. I think that was the drive coming right out of the half. Yeah. I'm looking at that in a couple of other things that I can't pinpoint off the top of my head right now. But let's just take that drive coming out of the half, because New England was down 17-0. They found their footing both on defense and offense at the end of the first half. Yeah. And then they went in with 17-13.
Yeah.
They get the ball second half to start. They're driving. Edelman fumbles. If that doesn't happen, they more than likely probably score a touchdown, because right after the fumble return, they came back and did what? Drove right back down the field and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So if a couple of those turnovers aren't there and they are not in that hole, then it's just a completely different ball game.
But you can say the same thing on the flip side too. Had they not fumbled that punt return, had Mark Ingram not fumbled too, the way they were rolling.
Right. So that made it a wash. So yeah, the Mark Ingram turnover was right. That kind of made it a wash. Yeah. So that was a good win for Baltimore.
I'm not pleased with, they can't keep running that boy like that. That can't be your offense. It can't.
One thing that I would caution Baltimore fans on is at some point you may see the Patriots again this season in the playoffs. And yes, I know you're excited about this win. It was a great win. Yes, you beat the Patriots and you beat them soundly. Do not think that Bill Belichick will not make adjustments if he sees y'all again.
Hey, was that shit real about Harbaugh buying them title belts? Because they
I didn't. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I saw.
I didn't hear anything about that.
6-2 when he bought on title belts. I hope that's not true.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like Harbaugh. But I don't want to sound like I'm not giving Baltimore their credit. But it was a good win, and and we'll see where they go from there. But running quarterbacks, that's what I was getting to. Quarterbacks that run, or running quarterbacks, or whatever you want to classify them as, they tend to kind of give the Patriots a little bit of trouble. Over the years. So we'll see what happens if they meet again.
Well, we saw that last year. You remember how right before the end of the year, San Diego, Lamar went out there and ran all over them, busted their ass. They played them 2 weeks later in the playoffs. They had tape, and they saw it. Whole different ball game. I don't believe the DC for the Chargers is better than Bill Belichick. So yeah, if y'all see him again, you know what it is.
Hey, he definitely got more. He definitely got more swag than Bill Belichick. He was all in the team photo. He pulled his chain out. Was that the defensive coordinator?
That was defensive coordinator.
Okay.
I like the secondary too. They got some wild animals on their secondary, but I like them.
Yeah, man. Baltimore got a good team, man. Baltimore got a good team. Like I said, I want them to not design. Well, I can't say that because you got to play to Lamar Jackson's skill set. You have to.
The Atlanta Falcons from Michael Vick's era. They got tight ends, no wide receivers to speak of, and running backs, and Michael Vick running the ball. It's the same offense. It's the same thing.
With the one big difference though, Lamar Jackson can read defenses. Lamar Jackson can read defenses, and he can pass the ball when they let him pass the ball. He
probably watches tape and stays late.
Right.
That type of shit.
But you know what? The other thing that scares me about Baltimore?
What's that?
Greg Roman.
That's the offensive coordinator, right?
That's the offensive coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator with us in San Francisco when we had Cap. He introduced kind of the same offense, read option or whatever. And then at a certain point, Greg Roman thought he was smarter than everybody.
Yeah.
And he went away from what worked. And he got real stupid. I hope that doesn't rear its ugly head again. So I'm keeping an eye on that. He's getting a lot of praise right now. But we'll see. Because to me, Greg Roman is an idiot.
They're riding high right now. They're riding high. They're doing what they need to do. But at the same time, had they lost that game, Pittsburgh would have been I think Pittsburgh would have been at 1, if I'm not mistaken, because they beat them head to head.
Well, Pittsburgh's 4-4. Baltimore would have been 5-3, so they still would have had a game on them.
Okay.
They still would have had a game on them. But one more thing before we get off of them. The people give the Patriots so much damn credit that even in a loss, they still give them credit. And I say that because I don't recall hearing Lamar Jackson's name in MVP talk prior to this week.
It need to be.
And then all of a sudden now I'm looking at Vegas odds and he's right there with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Just from beating the Patriots.
They love New England.
I think they gave them. I'm sitting here Sunday looking and I'm thinking to myself, greatest defense ever, right? That's what y'all was saying. Greatest defense ever. Yeah, right. We knew that shit wasn't true.
They got fat out them suckers. So we're gonna find out. I think they play Dallas next week.
They're another team. Us, the Niners and New England, we kind of got the similar seasons going. First half of the season was mediocre to average teams. The only difference was a lot of people thought we were going to be one of them mediocre and average teams too.
This guy.
Now, the back end, now both teams going to get some stiffer competition. We'll see how that plays out. So it's going to be a good last half of the season. But we know New England's going to probably win the division more than likely. And if it comes down to home field, can you go into Foxborough and win a game in January is what it's going to boil down to.
In that snow. All right. Next up, final game of the week. The Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Giants 37-18.
The Black Cat game.
That was funny. watching that game, middle to the third going forward, I was sitting there thinking to myself, man, every time I watch Dak, his bag goes down. Every time. Every game I watch, I'm sitting there thinking Dak should have took that 32. He really should have took that 32.
Because that deep ball was trash last night.
Because he only had like 3 throws that really helped them win this game. 3. Give or take 4.
Right.
And, of course, after the game, he did what he's supposed to do. They won, but it was like 3 to 4 throws. That's it. That's it. The Giants was whooping them. They was in the game the whole time. So, it's pretty simple, Dallas. Establish Zeke. Take the pressure off of Dakota.
Yeah, so this is probably Zeke's best game, right? I think he had 22 rushes, 139, 140 yards or so.
Yeah, he just didn't have nothing in the passing game, but they were using Pollard. But, I mean, it seemed like every time Zeke touched the ball, it was 6 yards. 6-7 yards.
Hey, man, he's best running back in the league, man. Feed him.
Yeah. You think he's better than McCaffrey right now, today?
Yeah. I mean, I like my I know the running back position has evolved where you do a lot of catching out of the backfield. But for me, I start with the running. And I do think he's a better runner. Now, how much of that? Well, that was offensive line ain't what it used to be. So
them dudes getting older. I mean, a lot of them dudes was with Romo. So they got to get older. But yeah.
McCaffrey's having a better season. Statistically and what have you. But I still think Zeke the best back in the league.
Yeah, Zeke is solid. Shout out to him.
He's just wild. He's just a wild animal. That's all.
He been good lately. He got his bag. Maintaining. So we talked about.
I guess we probably don't want to say that too loud, right?
Right. We know how Ezekiel gets down. All right, we talked. Well, I don't know if we verbalized it, but the playoffs started today. The Patriots are 1, Baltimore's 2, Houston's 3, KC 4, Bills 5, Colts 6. NFC 49ers, Saints, Green Bay, Dallas, Seattle, and Minnesota. We got a lot to happen in between them, but that's the way it's set right now. We talked about all this stuff so far. Well, Trent Williams is the only thing we didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
If Trent Williams told them folks that his head was hurting and they discovered cancer and they didn't do anything, why in the fuck didn't the Redskins trade him? Why? That makes it even worse that they didn't trade him.
Hey man, it's the Redskins. I have long ago stopped trying to attempt to figure out what their thought process is on shit.
That just makes it worse. Get the problem out the building. He don't want to be there. And if it was a cancer situation, get him out the building. Go on about your business. You could have got a second or a first. Kept it moving.
Yeah.
All right.
And what about Charlie Casserly's ass coming out talking about they told him 3 years ago that he needed to get it looked at and he didn't? That sounds like bullshit.
Charlie Casserly's full of shit.
Always, right?
Always full of shit. And didn't he work for them?
He did.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, whatever. What else we got? Big game this week in college. LSU, Alabama. I heard Paul Feinbaum on TV today.
Oh, boy.
He said if Alabama don't win this game this week, and LSU beat them, it's a wrap. He said, they ain't played nobody. He said, if it's going to come down to who everybody don't play, they ain't played nobody. They got to win this game this week. But ain't that the same every year? Alabama don't never play nobody outside of LSU and Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how tough some of those other SEC West teams are. I mean, every now and then you got a Texas A&M that may be middle of the road to low rank. We know Ole Miss is usually trash. Mississippi State is usually not that good. So, yes, they're and then the big game that they normally play at the beginning of the season hasn't been so great lately. I think this year was Duke. So that's going to play a part. But
the first ranking came out tonight. The first one has Ohio State 1, LSU 2, Alabama 3, Penn State 4, then Clemson at 5, and Georgia at 6. I don't like to look at it. I don't like to look at that at all.
What?
Yeah, that came out a while ago. Yeah.
Maybe I need to look at Ohio State schedule again. But at any rate, it's gonna move around.
LSU should be one.
I think LSU should be one. But it's gonna play itself out anyway. This is the first one, so it really don't matter that much. Especially for those top teams. LSU and Alabama, they're gonna cancel each other out. Whoever loses this game is gonna be behind the 8 ball. Ohio State, Penn State, they got to play later on in the season.
Penn State play somebody good this weekend.
This past weekend or this weekend coming up?
Did they play Wisconsin this weekend? But Wisconsin lost 2 straight.
No, so yeah, Wisconsin is not. Penn State plays. They go to Minnesota.
Okay.
Number 13.
Minnesota's like 13, I think.
They rank 13, and it's at Minnesota. So possible trap game there. But a lot of those teams got to play each other. So some of that shit's gonna cancel each other out. I'm glad our Bulldogs, the Georgia Bulldogs, are right there at 6. I think that's right where we need to be. Because we went out and do what we're supposed to do. And like I said, a couple of those other teams are going to drop out. SEC champion is going to the playoff.
That's it.
So if we all we got to do is get to the championship game and win it. We in.
That's it.
Now LSU, Alabama. This week's game is probably going to decide it.
Who you got in that game?
Where is it at?
That's a good question.
I think it's in Tuscaloosa. In fact, yeah, I think it is in Tuscaloosa. I'll probably end up taking Alabama. However, I wish it was in Death Valley at night.
Ooh.
But
I feel like about it being a 3:00 game. That should be 7:00 Saturday night.
It's a good time. 3:00 college. 3:00. That's like a prime time slot too for college. Because them damn games is like 5 hours long. So it's gonna be 7, 8 o'clock before it's over with. But I'm probably gonna take Bama. I haven't really watched Bama a whole lot.
Have they said Tua's gonna play? Like
surely. Oh well, that's a big factor too. I forgot he was hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They said it's gonna come down to the game time, but I think they just bullshitting on that. They know that boy don't play.
Yeah, let me look at that. I don't know. I'll tell you Thursday, but I'll probably lean toward whoever's at home.
We ain't got nothing on these games, so it's whatever.
Yeah, in that game. So yeah, we'll see. I'm surprised to see Clemson at 5 though. I'm surprised to see that.
But they haven't been impressive this year though. They've been winning, but
yeah, that's true. That's what I kind of don't like about college is you got to go out there and win by 40, to be impressive. Yeah, they're not winning like they used to, but they're winning. They still undefeated. But I think what's hurting them is the ACC is trash.
Right. So who do they play? If you look at it that way, who do they play?
They play nobody.
State? Rest in peace, Willie. Keep your head up, homie.
They play nobody.
Nobody. Right. So didn't they lose to Georgia Tech on a Thursday? Georgia Tech.
No, Clemson ain't lost no games this year.
They ain't lost a game?
Mm-mm.
I thought they lost one. Shit. Okay.
No, they wouldn't have been ranked 4th if they had lost.
Okay. Well,
yeah, they got defeated. And then the games they got left, NC State, Wake Forest, and South Carolina in the ACC, and then the ACC championship game. They'll be undefeated.
Yeah.
Penn
State will probably slip up this weekend and give them a chance to go ahead and slide on in to 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be SEC champ, Big Ten champ, Clemson, and then it depends on who wins the SEC. If Georgia pulls the SEC championship out, then that last spot is going to go to the Alabama or the LSU.
Kind of like it did a year before.
Right.
Remember when Saban went on after the SEC? I think we won the SEC championship that year. Saban went on there like, yeah, we got 2 losses, but look at who we played, blase, and they got in. Ohio State got chumped.
Yep. Exactly.
At some point, we got to talk some NBA, but we ain't got to do it tonight. So we can get up out of here if you're ready.
Yeah, we'll try to catch this 4th quarter. The Bulls are beating the Lakers pretty soundly right now. They was up 13 at the end of the 3rd. The Hawks are winning. Okay.
But I wasn't watching.
Okay, well, so much for that Lakers score I just gave because the Lakers came out and started the fourth quarter on a 14-0 run. Now they're up one. The Hawks, Trae Young back tonight. I think they're getting ready to close this win out. John Collins suspended 25 games for using growth hormones.
NBA dudes don't take drugs. Y'all gotta chill out.
Yeah, man, that's 3 in like the last couple weeks between him, DeAndre Ayton, and Wilson Chandler.
What are y'all doing? You just go hoop. You don't need steroids to hoop.
Right.
Growth hormones.
There it is. There was a boxing match over the weekend. I didn't watch it. Canelo won. Now he's a light heavyweight champion, so that's his fourth championship in 4th different division. Yeah. What else is going on? There's something else going on I forgot to mention. I don't know. Oh, well, he can cash in. Strasburg walking away from $100 million.
Oh, did we even shout out the Nationals for winning?
Hell no. This Braves country.
Yeah, it is, but they won though. I mean, shit.
They did win the World Series.
They won the World Series. So
They went to the White House and all.
They did go.
Man, let's get up out of here, man. People, we appreciate y'all tuning in to us, man. This is AA Sports. Get straight sports, no goddamn chaser. This is episode 198. We're gonna be uploading this either tonight or early in the morning to YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. Check us out on those platforms. Yes, also, check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, IG. Shout out to the Urban Arena crew. Uncle Hate, tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At Rike6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, you can find me. I'm at Diego Barish on Twitter as well. We will holler at y'all on Thursday when we do our Week 10 picks right before the Thursday night game this week between the Raiders and the Chargers. All right, it's going to be a good one. We finna get up out of here, man. Again, people, y'all be easy. We'll holler at y'all in a couple days. We out. Peace.